Okay, key constraint requirement that each element of an entity set may appear at most once in the particular relationship. So for an example, the requirement that every workshop must be allocated to no more than one room, even if runs more than one day. So that means you cannot apply, so key constraint means there is a limitation. Constraint means any limitation that preventing reusing the same thing, right? Reusing the same. So here, each element of an entity may appear at most once in the particular relationship. Each element of an entity set may appear at most once. It is not possible to organize multiple workshops in the same room. It's not possible to organize multiple workshops in the same room in a given day. That is a key constraint. They're asking about what is key constraint, the key, a composite key, and the total participation. Right? So these highlighted things, I think better you write even. That's better. Key is minimal set of attributes whose value, it's unique identifier basically to identify the entity set. Composite key is more than one attribute. Total participation is every element of an entity set must appear at least once in the particular relationship. The minimum occurrence should be 1. So it is not 0, not optional. So there should be at least one occurrence. It's not optional. That is called total participation. Key constraint is a limitation. Each element of an entity set may appear at most one in a particular relationship. That relationship cannot be duplicated. Relationship cannot be duplicated at the same time. Right? When you consider one room will be allocated to one workshop at a given time, given snapshot. When you take a photo or when you take a snapshot, in a given snapshot, you can see only one එක වෙලාවක අපිට අග්ගාලා ගිහිල්ලා බැලුවොත් අර room එකට ඔයාට පේන්නේ එක conference එකක් විතරයි. That is the maximum. You will not be able to see more than one conference. ඒ වගේම ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගිහිල්ලා බැලුවොත් conference එකම conference එක room දෙකක යන්නේත්. So that is called total participation. 1-to-1, it's basically 1-to-1. So better write down those points. Let's read the question. This is from 2019 paper. And consider the following entity relationship diagram, which represent the information about the project conducted by staff attached to a software development company. Number 1, the number of hours that each staff member works on each project is recorded. Draw the attribute number of hours in the relevant position of the ER diagram with the correct symbol and the label. Right? So that is question number 1. It's easy because already diagram is given. Now they're asking to draw number of hours attribute, right? Okay. Then for each accepted project, temporary location is rented for the staff. For the duration of the project, for each location, the owner name, phone, address, and all these are recorded. One project has only one location. A rendered location is only used for one project. So similar to the question that we have discussed now, that workshop 1. When a certain project is completed, the location rented for the project will be released and hand over to the, so you can see it's almost similar to the question that we have discussed. Draw the entity location with the relevant attributes inside the area X in the diagram and link it to the existing ER diagram by indicating the cardinality. Right. Then the part B is asking. Yes, part B is networking. So this is only part A. So shall we answer the question quickly? Part A has this ER part. This is in 2019 paper. You can just write heading 2019 paper. Part 2, question number 3, 3A. So then please answer question. So you have to draw the entire diagram, right? Because then only you can draw the remaining things. No? So please draw the diagram and then answer question 1 and 2 quickly. I'll give you 5 minutes. Okay, the number of hours that each staff member works on each project. So number of hours each staff member works on each project. So where you should link that? Yes, to staff or project or to work for. To which one? Staff entity, the project entity, the work for in a relationship. To where? So you can link attribute to any place, right? So basically this is attribute. Draw the attribute. Attribute means what? You know, attribute is a oval. Attribute can be linked to any other attribute. Attribute can be linked to a entity or relationship. Any place. So where you are going to link that? Sit me. Yes, you know the number of hours each staff member works should either come to staff or to project or to work for. Yes? Now I'm asking which one?
Work for.
Yes, work for. Exactly. Very good. It's coming for work for. So අනිත් අය doubt හින්දාද කිව්වේ නැත්තේ නැත්නම් identify කරාද? ඇයි work for එකට එන්නේ? Why it's come to work for? Because here it's clearly say each staff member works for one project. Right? Each staff member work for one project is recorded. එතකොට staff member project එකකට වැඩ කරන කාලය තමයි. එහෙමනම් මේ දෙකටම අදාළයි. Staff member කෙනෙක් project එකකට වැඩ කරන කාලය. එහෙමනම් මේ දෙකටම අදාළ හින්දා තමයි අපි මෙතන record කරන්නේ. Then the link between this will be a line. Okay, if you draw this, you will get 1 mark. Right? ගොඩක් හම් වෙන්න එකයි හම් වෙන්නේ, right? You'll get 1 mark. This is what number of NOOF hours. Okay, this is, so let's reduce the font size. So can you reduce here? I think it's not. Okay, anyway, number of hours should come here, right? So here it should number of hours. So you have to write it in a smaller font, right? Not like this. Write in a small font. Number of hours. Okay, the next one. Everyone understood that? Netuli, did you understand? Satira?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So next one. For each accepted project, a temporary location. Temporary location. For each accepted location, temporary location. What do you mean by temporary location? It's not fixed, right? So now it's going to describe about this location, right? Because of this project only, this location is there. Project එක තියෙන හින්දා තමයි location එක පවතින්නේ. It's a temporary. Its location is not really allocated for the project, but because of the project, a temporary location is rented. That is rented, even rented out. So that location has owner name, phone number, address, rented date, rented period. So those things, right? Rented date, rented period are recorded. So how to draw this? Yes. So then location. Is it like a strong entity or weak entity? Location, is it a strong entity or weak entity?
Weak entity.
Weak entity. Why? Because it says it's not permanent, it's temporarily allocated for the project. So it's weak entity. So you have to use this kind of symbol, weak entity. And then, so it says owner name should be there. So let's add that. That is attribute owner name. And you have not only owner name, phone number. Only one phone number is given, so therefore it's right. Okay. And phone number, address, rent, key the rent again. Rented date and rented period, rented date and rented period are recorded. So basically project rents, so you have to use this one, project rent. So this is also, you have to draw the same shape, right? This is also weak relationship. Oh, weak relationship. Okay, this one. In the arrows. Okay, you have to write here owner name, phone number, address, rented date. Sorry, phone number, owner name, phone number, address, rent. And basically, this is the rent relationship is this one. And in the rent relationship, you can add that other attributes, the rented date and the period. You can add it here. Sorry, rented date and the period. You can add it here. Rented date and the period. You can add to this relationship. Or you can add to this one is that is also okay, but better because you're renting. You can add rented date and rented period here because it belongs to the project rent. Okay, draw the location and relevant and diagram, link the, and write the cardinality. So what is the cardinality? So cardinality means one project has only one location at the given time. One project has one location, and that location will be used by one project. It's one-to-one relationship. So if you mention like that, that will be okay. Right? This is what expected in this question. So now we just tried out. Let's see what is exactly given in the answer script. Is it with the marking scheme? Yes, with the marking scheme. Let's see the marking scheme quickly. And I'm going to remove these things. And let's refer to the marking scheme and how this is given in the marking scheme. It's not in the same place now. I think it's given below somewhere, right? Yeah. This is not there. Yeah, this one. So what they have added this rented period and rented date here. But as I said, it can be added. So since rent is added here, it can be added to this one also, right? No harm adding this. But they have directly added everything to the location. But here it's one-to-one relationship as say. Number of hours is mentioned here. It's one-to-one relationship. Project has location. Location has owner name, phone, address, rented date. So how you did? So similar to this one or similar to how I did here? මම මෙතන rent දාපු හින්දා තමයි rented date එකයි rented period එකයි මෙතනට ගත්තා. How you did this way or the way I did? Which one? Or none of this? You have to tell, right? So let's critically evaluate what you have done. So let's critically evaluate what you have done, right? Let's start from Netuli. Netuli, what you have done? What did you do? You got this answer or partially correct. Let's critically evaluate what has happened to you. Did you understand the question correctly?
This way I did.
This way. So you tried this one, the location, and these are weak entities and weak relationship. Did you try this one or just entity and relationship only?
I did not identify them as weak entity.
Because it's given as temporary for a certain amount of time. That's why it's weak, right? So if you 1 mark for this one, right? You'll get 1 mark for this one. 1 mark has relation to correct symbol, project entity with the proper cardinality. That is B. 1 mark has relationship, this one. 1 mark for all 6 locations, attributes with the correct symbols. 1 mark for coincidences, full mark, ABC, exact spellings, case, and no spaces. You cannot mention spaces there, right? So this that is specifically mentioned. If company has a link to the location entity, do not deduct mark. You can link this company and the location. So, but that is not mentioned there. But they asking to not to deduct marks if someone has linked this one to this one. Okay. Right. Now I think you can understand something about that. Not perfectly. Right. Let's go to another question. So same paper. I'm referring to the same paper. This time question number 5. So see how serious this part is, right? So again, in question number 5, so vehicle rental company has registered vehicle owners. Vehicles are obtained from the company, rented to customers. Consider the following relations. And you are given these things. Please read it out. The vehicle relationship, okay, a customer. In which form, a normal form, this above, want to justify your answer. Cannot the above relations normal form. Okay, that is the second question. Draw ER diagram to depict the above relationship by identify the relationships, key attributes, and other attributes, and the cardinality. Right? You ask. This is complete SQL question. The question number 3 has part, but question number 5 is completely right. It's completely depending on databases. But before that, we need to discuss what is this normalization, because otherwise you will not be able to answer. So you should know what is this normalization. So let me quickly give you some idea to normalization without giving note. I'll explain that. Then let's try to do the question number 5. Right? So, okay. So before we learn normalization, we have to identify why this normalization is required. Actually, I have not created the note for this, but let's discuss normalization. The heading is normalization. Okay, let's say why we need normalization. Right? If we have not normalized, if we skip normalization, relations may have insertion anomalies, deletion anomalies, and updation anomalies. Right? So if we have not normalized this version, so you will have insertion anomalies, deletion anomalies, and updation anomalies. Anomalies means so issues basically. So the synonyms: irregularities, or the issues. So what are the issues? So basically we should know. Okay, let's see if a table got something like this. You have a table. In table you have student ID. Okay, good. And student name or first name, then last name, and their telephone numbers. So the first student ID is 1001 and first name is Sydney and second name is Umanda, and she has telephone number, let's say 077, and she has another telephone number which is Okay, you have two telephone numbers. Assume that you have changed one telephone number. Okay, there's another student that is Nethuli. And she's having some telephone numbers like this. Okay, there's another student. Another 10, like something like this. So then if a table, so this is called basically multi-value attribute. You have multiple values. What if you want to update one telephone number? What if you want to update Nethuli's second telephone number? How you update the table using SQL query? Can you imagine how you're going to update the table using SQL query? How you're going to update this using SQL query? You can say update. I think you can remember this, right? Update, then the table. So what is the table name? Right, let's say TBL student set. Yes. Hopefully you can remember the updation query, right? We discussed this while ago. Yeah, I think before this we have discussed before the ER model here. So this is what the update query. You have to apply the same update query. Update TBL student set TP. You want to update one telephone number, but you have to update both telephone numbers. Why? You have changed only one telephone number. But since this is multi-value attribute, it has multiple values. You have to update both telephone numbers. That is a problem. You want to update one telephone number, but so you have only one way to access this cell column, that is TP. TP is equal, you have to update both telephone numbers to get this done. TP is equal, and you have to mention the both telephone numbers to get this done. That is called insertion issue, insertion anomaly. Right? When you are inserting, there might be issues. Let's say 1, 2 to update in the when you are where student ID equal, you can say where STID equal 1002. But the problem here is, so it's not easy because you have when you have multi-value attributes, there will be problems when updating. So that is one issue. One issue where you cannot properly maintain record. And another thing is deletion anomaly. If you want to delete, right? If you want to delete this number, again the problem. You have to delete both and add this again, right? Deleting one is it's not easy because the multi-value attributes. So we have to learn about few things before learn normalization. So that is the topic number 1 under that functional dependency, and topic number 2 under that partial dependency, and topic number 3 is transitive dependency. Transitive dependency. Right. So we before discussing about the normalization, we have to know about these 3 terms. Okay, can you quickly write down the heading normalization and this thing, and so this issue. So please write down this quickly. So don't write down these three. Please write down this quickly, right?